Telling your story. WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Charity Johnson. We begin this evening with breaking news out of Tupelo, where a domestic violence call has led to an officer-involved shooting. As Ellie Martin reports, the suspect is dead. No officers were injured, and the investigation is underway.
It was around 2:30 in the afternoon when 911 received a call reporting a domestic violence dispute on Roughwood Drive.
2 officers from the Tupelo Police Department were dispatched to an address here on Roughwood and found an individual that had wounds consistent with domestic violence.
Moments later, officers located the suspect in a nearby wooded area.
Officers then confronted the subject, and we have an officer-involved shooting.
The suspect is deceased. Neither officer was injured, but both were taken to NMMC for medical evaluations. Chief Quokka says body cam footage of the incident is available. The area was cordoned off to the public as investigators processed the scene, taking photos and collecting evidence. Pat Kennedy has lived in the Roughwood neighborhood for a few years and says the sight of police cars and crime scene tape is unusual.
Quiet.
Yeah. Quiet area.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Hope it stays that way.
Yes, so do I.
As with all officer-involved shootings, MBI will take over the investigation. Reporting from Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
MBI will release more information as the investigation unfolds. And another investigation is underway after the death of an inmate being held in the Monroe County Detention Center. Now, according to Monroe County Coroner Alan Gurley, 66-year-old Spencer Eckford of Aberdeen arrived at the Monroe Regional Hospital Tuesday night without signs of life. He was pronounced dead by 9:44 p.m. on Tuesday. Monroe County Sheriff Kevin Crook says earlier that night, Eckford was arrested by Aberdeen police and charged with trespassing and public drunk. Crook says during the booking process, Eckford became aggressive and threatening towards officers and then was tased by a corrections officer. He was initially responsive, but became less responsive, and jail staff called for medical assistance. Eckford was then taken by an ambulance to the hospital. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is leading the investigation. Eckford's body was taken to the state's medical examiner's office in Pearl for an autopsy, which was required by state whenever someone dies while in custody. And a murder case in Clay County Circuit Court will go to jury tomorrow. Jalen Hurd is one of 6 men charged with the September 2022 shooting death of Journey White. White was shot to death at Timberlane Apartments. The prosecution rested its case early this afternoon. The defense did not call any witnesses and rested its case late this afternoon. Trial resumes in the morning with closing arguments. Then the jury will begin its deliberations. Well, school is already back in session in some parts of the viewing area, including Columbus, Lowndes County, and Starkville, and that means the return of school day traffic. Now, area law enforcement agencies are reminding drivers to be extra careful, especially in these first few weeks of class when they're getting used to having school traffic back on the roads. Remember to slow down in school zones. Watch out for children crossing the roads. Put the phones away and keep your eyes on the road while driving, and be mindful of the return of school buses.
School buses will be running. If you see a stop school bus and the arms extended, you must stop. It's state law that you must stop, and our deputies will be out patrolling, watching for this. If you pass a stop school bus, you will be cited. This is a safety measure. A lot of kids are crossing the road back and forth, and we want our kids to arrive home and at school safely.
Last year, the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office had school resource officers riding with some of those buses, radioing deputies about violations. Sheriff Eddie Hawkins says they plan to do that again this year. And in West Point, the Green Wave is keeping it in the family. A West Point High alum returns to his alma mater as principal years after getting his start in education in the Point City. The new principal, Michael Watkins, met with faculty and staff today as they return for the first official day back on campus. And to start out, Watkins says he's updating the school motto to rise, achieve, and succeed. He says the goals are to improve student performance and prepare them for the workforce. And there he is on the screen. And there's Marrero Evans, who is a WCBI employee here. We'll have more on that tonight.